Let's read Cicero chapter 46. And what happened before? We actually skipped a bit of a section where he talks about how Greek and Roman, or Greek philosophy that has been received by the Roman population is kind of degenerate and not necessarily teaching virtue the way it used to. At least that's the argument that Cicero is making. And he goes on after that to say how good Caelius is. And now we come back in chapter 46 as he talks about how Caelius is an orator. Cicero is also an orator. And orators are always really virtuous. Cicero is also an orator, so he's also kind of, in a roundabout way, also praising his own profession, and it's a very Ciceronian thing to make himself look quite good. An vos aliam causam esse ullam putatis, cur in tantis praemis eloquentiae, tanta voluptate dicenti, tanta laude, tanta gratia, tanto honore, tam sin pauci semperque fuerint, qui in hoc labore versentur. An is something like or, and he's introducing the next point with a question, or perhaps, or do you, vos, do you putatis, do you think, aliam causam esse ullam, there is any other reason, aliam causes ullam. I should elide those syllables, but it's hard to do it by sight. Do you think there's any other reason, cur, why, in tantis primis eloquentiae, in such great rewards of eloquence? So, he's going to set up the idea of like, there's real reasons to pursue the oratory career. It's rich and famous kind of thing. In such great rewards of eloquence, such great pleasure of speaking, such praise, such great grace, a favor, and in such great honor, tam sin pauci, there are so few. Why there are so few? And then this sint is subjunctive because cur is, in this case, introducing an indirect question, a reported question. Do you think there's any other reason why there are so few? Tam sin pauci, semperque fuerint, and there always have been. That why there are so few and there always have been so few, who in hoc labore, in this labor, where centaur literally are turned, but you want to say are involved. Why are there so few who are involved in this work? Like, why is there any other reason why there's so few involved in this work? Obterendae sunt omnes voluptates. This is the start of his reason why. Why are there so few people pursuing an oratory career? It's because obterendae sunt. They must be treaded underfoot, trampled underfoot. Omnes voluptates. All pleasures need to be treaded underfoot. Relinquenda. They must be left behind. This is a gerundive of obligation, just as obterendae has that nd form. Nd is our clue that this is a gerund or a gerundive form, and that it's agreeing with something is makes it a gerundive. This happens to be gerundive of obligation, and all studia, all pursuits must be left behind. Delectationis is describing the pursuits. All pursuits of delight, of pleasure, must be left behind. Must be all just left in the dust behind you. Ludus jocus convivium sermo paenes familiarum deserendus. And here's our third gerundive of obligation, deserendus. ND form must be deserted. Something must be deserted. Game, joke, partying, speech with like literally the speech of close family or close friends. And then paine, nearly, must be deserted. So you've got to nearly desert all your gaming, joking, partying, and having conversations with close friends or close family. Quare, for this reason. Quare is ablative case, ablative of cause. For this reason, in hoc genere, in this kind, it could be in this generation, this kind of people, labor offendit homines, studioque deteret. That is, the work offends men. The work offends people. The work is offensive to, i.e., it just you can't. It seems too hard to do. And it deteret. The work, the labor deters or discourages people. Studioque. Studio is like from the pursuit of good oratory. So yeah, for this reason, in this kind of people, i.e., in our generation, the work offends people and it discourages them from its pursuit. Non quaut ingenia deficiant aut doctrina puerilis. Puerilis? I need to see the macrons in that one. Not, and then quo is ablative of cause again. So not because, not for the reason, and like not because they either, and then out is like either or. They either are lacking, deficiant, in talent or character. Not like people don't want to be orators, not because they're lacking in talent, out doctrina puerilis, and not because the instruction of boyhood is lacking, boyhood training. So people are like tons of people are educated enough to be orators and have the talent to be so, but they don't do it because it's hard work. That's what that's part of the reasoning that Caelius is a good guy. He is working hard. He's not wasting his youth.